Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this ThinkPad X1 Extreme. Alright, this is a Lenovo laptop. We're going to use a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver, and we're just going to undo all the screws here. Alright, the screws actually stay in place on the cover, so keep that in mind. Just undo them, and once you feel it click, then you know the screw is already all the way out. Alright, so 3 here, and then there's 1 down here. Okay, so we're just going to undo all of these. You can see this cover's all bubbly. The customer said one of the fans is kind of failing. It gets stuck, and then I guess it was overheating, so I've never seen where it gets peeled up like that. Anyways, we're going to get all the screws out. And it's this fan that's bad, the one that's on the left side when the computer is being used. Okay, so we're going to get the cover out. If you can't lift from this side, you can also go from the sides here, okay? And then you can kind of pull it up and wiggle it, and it comes up at an angle like that, so the bottom stays down here, and then you can kind of move it and get that out of there. All right, here you can see there's this thermal pad stuff here, so this helps pull the heat away. All right, usually they don't have some plastic tape and stuff on top, so I don't know, that's kind of weird, but there we go. Alright, so here you can see there's an M.2 PCIe NVMe slot here. Alright, there's another slot here, I'm assuming also for a PCIe NVMe SSD, but I'm not sure. Alright, you got the battery here. Alright, the battery model numbers right here. This battery is actually a little bit inflated or bloated, so it should be replaced. The model number is L17C4P72. Alright. There's an extra connector here. I'm not sure what that's for. I'm gonna assume it's for a fingerprint sensor. Alright, I'm gonna disconnect the battery just to be safe because we are gonna be redoing the thermal paste on this one. So let's go ahead and see what's underneath here. I think I have a customer here, so I might have to go. But let's see here. We're gonna lift this plastic piece up. Alright, so under here, okay, I think this is one of those where kind of have to lift it. I'm gonna put this tape there. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I think this we lift from up here, and you want to be careful. There is a little gap there. Okay, all right, so we're gonna lift from there. I'm gonna use my fingernail, just pop this up. Let's see if it comes up. It doesn't want to come up. Oh, there we go. So you can see it popped up like that, and then we're gonna slide this over that direction. All right, so slide it like that, and then we can lift the whole connector out. Just like that. Alright, so now the battery is disconnected. You also have the BIOS, Cmos, RTC, real-time clock battery, whatever you want to call it, right there. Normally it's held in with this sticky pad, but for some reason it's just coming out. Alright, I'm going to just push on it a little to stick it down. Alright, let's go ahead and, and remove the battery here. I think I have a customer here, so I might have to go for a bit. But anyways, let's go ahead and get these 4 screws at the top out. You want to keep all the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that, I put them flat side down like this on my desk in the power, and I remove them. So we have this 4 in a row. Alright. And yeah, alright. The one on the outside was shorter. Let's see if both of them are like that. Yeah, so both these outer screws are slightly shorter if you happen to mix them up. Alright, then we're going to lift it up at an angle. Okay, just like this. You want to make sure these cables are unrouted, that they're not getting caught. So we might have to actually take, okay, let me lift this. Can we lift the speaker out? Yep. Okay, so we're going to lift this speaker out. There's no screws holding it. It's just those little rubber things. Okay. And I'm going to put the speaker back. I'm just taking it out so we can get the battery out. Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and remove the battery. Is there something holding it? Oh, okay, this thing kind of gets caught there, so we have to slide it out this way. Okay, and there we go, there's the battery. We'll set that aside, and for now we'll just put the speaker back here. Alright, here you can see the trackpad or touchpad connector here. You got the keyboard connector right here connecting to this other board, and then you got this keyboard backlight connector, I'm pretty sure, or it might be that little central nub thing. The track point, okay, and then you got this connecting that to the motherboard. I guess they call this a sub card. I would call it a subboard, but yeah. All right. Then they also have this little button here, which usually there's a hole through the bottom. Yeah, there is. Okay, so you can actually push this with a pin or a needle if your computer's having issues turning on. Sometimes pressing this button for about 15 seconds can reset the motherboard and then allow it to wake up. All right, the BIOS CMOS battery connector is there. You got this. Actually, is that the fingerprint? This is the fingerprint sensor. So I'm not sure what this is for. They don't have it labeled, so I'm not sure. It says maybe SC1, but I don't know what that is. All right, you got the wireless card here. There's just one screw holding it in place, and like the SSD, you'll be able to pull it up at an angle and then pull it out. The wireless antennas you want to pull up straight up from the tails. I have a bunch of videos showing that kind of thing, so if you're not sure what to do and you need to see, just check a few other videos from my channel and you should be able to find that. Okay, you got this connector here that goes into the screen, but this is most likely the main screen cable, the LCD LVDS connector. This one might be for like the camera and the microphones and stuff like that. Okay, anything else? You got 2 slots for RAM. For some reason, people always need me to count them for them, so 2. Okay, only 1 slot's being used. Let's go ahead and pull the tabs to the side and see if we can figure out what model RAM this is. Okay. So here you go. This is a 16 gig stick PC4 2666V. So you can get another matching 16 gig PC4 2666V stick, and that should help with the performance a bit. Okay, to put it back, you go ahead and angle into the slot, and then you just click it down into place. Okay, then you got the DC jack charge port connector here. It just plugs right there. All right, I don't know what this tab of tape is here for. I don't think it's doing anything. But what's that? Oh, there's some paper or something there. Okay, let's go ahead and try and get that thing out. I don't know what this thing is for. Okay, no, it's stuck there, so I don't know what that's attached to, but we'll just leave it there. Okay, anyways, let me check on my customers real quick, and I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. Alright, I'm back for now, so let's go ahead and continue removing the heatsink. Okay, so it looks like there's 2 screws here and 3 screws here. I don't know if anything else is holding it down. We are going to have to also, disconnect the fan connectors here, so let's zoom in. Alright, so the fan connectors, what I do, usually I'll just pinch the wings with my fingernails, and then I'll kind of just wiggle it. Alright, and just keep wiggling, and there we go, it pops out. If you're replacing the fan, make sure you have the connector the right side up. You can actually see the exposed pins there. If you flip it over, you'll see instead it's like the exposed wires. So you want to make sure you have it right side up when you go to install the new fan. Okay, we're going to disconnect this fan as well. All right, same thing. Just grab the wings and kind of just wiggle it as you're pulling slowly. And eventually it should pop out. There we go. Same thing with the connectors. All right, and we're gonna want to pull this cable aside. Oops, sorry. We're gonna want to pull this cable aside because it's routed through underneath the fan here. Okay, but we'll do that after we remove all these screws. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove the heatsink screws. Looks like they actually stay in place. Okay, that's nice. Let's go ahead and get these 3 out. Okay, so that's actually nice that these screws all hold themselves in place. You can actually see the spring loaded part is kind of popping up now. Now let's go ahead and see what else we got to remove. Oh, we do have to unroute these as well, so we might have to actually disconnect those. Okay, just to be safe, we're going to open up the computer. You want to do this slowly, carefully, okay, and press and hold the power button for about 15 seconds. This will drain any residual power from the board and make it safer to work on. Alright, so let's keep holding it a few more seconds. Alright, if this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, so anyways, let's go ahead and disconnect these cables. So we're going to flip this latch up here. And then we're going to go ahead and lift this cable slightly as we pull it back. There we go. And then we're just going to unroute this from underneath and then go over the top and then back underneath and back over the top. All right, and then we got these 2 connectors. We're going to have to remove those as well. They actually do this weird. The gray cable is going to the black arrow, and the black cable is going to the white arrow. So what I'm gonna do, let's get a Sharpie here, and we're just gonna mark the one that's going to the black arrow so we know. Okay, so I'll just color that so I know that that one's for the black arrow. Okay, and then I'm gonna use my fingernails like this and just pull straight up from the tail. You can see it pops out pretty easily, just like that. All right, and now let's go ahead and peel this up. So they put this tape here holding it down, so we're gonna have to peel that tape off. Okay, I don't know why they put this tape here, but let's go ahead and peel that out. Okay, and then get the cables out. All right, and get it through there, over, under. Okay, and now we got the cable separated. Let's actually do the same thing with this, the LCD LVDS connector. We'll flip the latch up, okay, just like that. And same thing, we'll kind of pull the connector slightly up and then pull it back. There we go. Get that underneath there and get it out over there. And there we go. All right, so hopefully now we can just lift the heatsink out with the fans. So I'm going to grab the fans here and let's see, can we lift it? It's still kind of stuck. All right, it's actually the thermal paste and stuff that's kind of making it stuck here. So to remove that, we basically have to slowly, carefully twist this like that. All right, but there's not much room here to do it, so maybe we'll have to try and pry from this. Okay, so I'm going to slowly, carefully just pry up here. Okay, there we go. And you want to do that slowly. You don't want to try and force it out, because then you can rip something out or damage it. Okay, so we got that. What else is stuck? There we go. All right, and here we go. We got the thing out. You can actually see the thermal pads here. I don't know why there's thermal pads in the center. That's interesting. Okay, and yeah, so I'm about to sneeze. Jeez. Okay, so this fan was the one that's bad. You can actually see the difference. So this one spins very smoothly. This one, when I spin it, you can see it just kind of stops. Okay, sometimes it will spin, sometimes it just gets stuck. And now we're just gonna clean all this stuff. We're gonna clean it with a paper towel. I'm gonna flip the laptop over upside down over a trash can and then clean this off so that the stuff just falls into the trash can. So I'm gonna actually do that off camera. And then we're also gonna clean this one off. All right, basically just get paper towel, hold it upside down, and then just clean it, and then you'll get all this stuff to drop into the trash. Okay, so let me do that real quick and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. So basically I just took some paper towel and kind of cleaned it off, cleaned around the edges, cleaned off this. For the heat sink, you want to keep your hand underneath so that way when you clean it, you're not like putting pressure and bending it. Okay, oh, I might have another customer here. But anyways, now we cleaned all the old thermal paste off. I also cleaned the dust under here off. Okay, so let me go ahead now and see about separating the fans. So we'll set the computer aside for now. All right, I have a customer here, so let me go check on them and I'll be back. But anyways, we're gonna flip this over and we should be able to see, okay, yeah, that's the bad fan. Okay, so we're gonna switch over to a PH0 or JIS0 screwdriver to remove the 3 screws holding this fan in place, and then we're gonna separate the propellers from the heatsink. All right, so let's switch over to a PH0 or JIS0 screwdriver. We'll get these 3 screws out. All right. Once I get this out, I'm gonna have to go see with my customer. Okay. All right. So that one out, and then we'll get this last one out. All right, after you get those 3 screws out, there is a little clip here. Okay, so we got those out. So there's a little clip over here that we're gonna have to kind of move to the side, and then we should be able to lift the fan out. So I'm gonna use my fingernail here. You can use whatever, plastic pry tools or flathead screwdriver. All right, so we're gonna pull that over to the side a little bit. And hopefully now we can get the fan out. Let's go ahead and see. Can we lift this up? Okay, you can see it's separating a bit and the fan is coming out. oh, they actually put some tape here to hold it in place, so you can see it just flips over like that. And there was still a dust ball in there, even after I already kind of cleaned it out with my electric air blower. So sometimes it's good to just take the fan out like this so that you can see. Oh, there's like a bunch of hairs that are coming out that were caught in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and see now. So here you can see this fan, it doesn't keep spinning after you turn it. So what we need to see now is if we can separate the propellers from the motor housing. All right, so usually I'll grab this and try and pull this off, and it doesn't want to come out. So we might be out of luck. I'm gonna try pushing it through from this side. Uh-oh, my customer's here. Okay, I'll be back. I need to see what my customer needs, and yeah, all right, I'll see you guys in a bit. Wow, there's all these like crumbs or dust or sand or something coming out of it. But yeah, okay, give me a second and I'll be back. See you guys in a bit. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead now and continue. Oh man, I don't know all that junk that's falling out of here, where that's coming from. Let's kind of make sure to get all that sand and grit out of here. Okay, wow, this side has like so much. Is that from the, oh, I think it's coming from this foam. It got like cooked to a hard plastic. Wow, okay. So, we can't really do anything to stop that. I don't know if I should just like scrape off the foam pad completely, because I'm a little worried that in the future that stuff might get into the computer or into the fans and then it can mess it up again. So let me see if I can somehow scrape that stuff off. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to leave that there and then it's going to cause some problems. So okay, this one seems okay. So I don't know why this bigger pad, what's different about it, but okay, we're just going to scrape this stuff off. Okay, yeah, if we don't do that, I'm pretty sure it's going to screw up the fan again. Let me see, can I take this? Oh, is this side also? Oh my goodness. Okay, that's not good. So this whole thing, all this foam here is like bad. You can see it just comes off so easily. Wow, okay, get off. Yeah, that's not good. It just scrapes off so easily. Okay, so we want to get all this foam stuff out because we don't want it getting back into the fan and then causing more problems in the future. Okay, so that one's out. Let's see about the other side. Does this one come out easily? This side's actually not so bad. I guess it probably wasn't getting as hot. It does come out a bit, but not anywhere near as bad as the other one. Maybe I should just scrape it just to be safe. Yeah, we'll just scrape it off to be safe. It does come out quite a bit easy as well. It's not as bad, but better to be safe than sorry. Okay. Alright, what about this one? Yep, okay. So that small pad, I don't know what it's made of, a different foam. It doesn't scrape, see? You can see I can scrape it and it doesn't fall apart. I don't know why they use two different kinds of foams, but alright. So let me clean up this mess here. Wow, that's gross. Okay, toss this in the trash. Alright. All this stuff out. Toss that in the trash. Okay. Alright. Sorry about that. Alright. Let's go ahead and take a look now. So we took the screws out of this one. So we'll flip the fan. Let's see if we can pop the propellers out. So what I'm gonna do now, can I actually, oh, there's actually a thermal sensor wire here, so I'm gonna have to be very careful and not rip that out, okay? Because it sticks to the outside edge here. All right, so I'm gonna flip it this way so I get a better view. And we're gonna lift the fan up again. Why is it stuck? Oh, it's stuck on the clip, I think. There we go. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push on the little center ring here, because that's like a stronger part, and we're gonna try and push this through. I think it worked. Okay, it came up. So here you can see the fan is actually slightly up, and there we go, it actually came out. So that's good, because when I checked for this part on Amazon, it's over $100, over $120. So good thing I was able to get that out. Let's go ahead and clean this copper section here. And since we have this open, let's clean that as well. All right, so here's how the fan works. I was pushing on I was pushing on this ring here, right? So basically I was just using my thumbs to push through, and that's how we got this propeller thing out. And basically what happens is the grease here goes bad. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to clean this off. I just get a small piece of paper towel. I'm gonna grab that, pinch that, and just clean it, just like this. All right, here you can see there's some dirt and gunk in there. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna use get some oil, and we're gonna put it into this, I don't know if that's called the shaft or whatever, or if this, whatever. Anyways, we're gonna put the the grease onto there using a needle. You can use whatever works for you. You can even use like a small screwdriver, okay? But what I'm gonna do, I just use motor oil. You can use whatever oil that's designed for moving components. I've had some people use like sewing machine oil. Don't use like food cooking oil and stuff like that. It has to be something designed for moving components, all right? So this is just synthetic motor oil, all right? 5W30, doesn't matter. If you don't have a bottle of oil, a lot of people won't, but you have access to a car or a gas-powered lawnmower or something like that, you can pull the oil dipstick out and you can actually get the oil from there. So you can get it from like your motorbike, whatever, anything that uses oil generator, okay? All right, so I'm gonna just tip this, get some oil on the needle here, all right? And we're just gonna drop it into the hole there. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we just want to get new oil into that. Okay, now that we got oil in, we're gonna put this on top. Okay, make sure you get it lined up. Why isn't it falling into place? Oh, make sure you get this lined up. Okay, let me see if I can see better from this side. Why is it so hard to line this one up? Okay, there we go. And you can already see when I spin it now, it spins a lot better, okay? But we're not gonna stop there. We're gonna pop this thing back out, and then we're gonna grease it again another 1 or 2 times, just to make sure to get any impurities out of there, okay? So we're gonna keep spinning this a little to get the grease all lubed all around, okay? Now we're gonna go ahead and push this back through here. Okay, hopefully we can. Okay, all right, there we go. So once you feel it gets pushed out a bit, you can go ahead and grab this. And then we're gonna clean this up. This one, because it's a little bit more difficult to get the fan propellers out, I might just do one more time just to clean it, because if you try too many times, it could be a little bit risky. Here you can see the oil, you can see the color, okay? If I were to get some cleaner oil here, let me do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So if I were to get some clean oil, like on the needle here, and then we do that, okay, you can see it's more of a clearer yellow, okay, and that's how you can see that the oil's dirty there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put oil in there again. Okay, let's go ahead and get the propellers back on. Okay, just like that, spin it around again. Yeah, this propeller system, once you get it back in, it's a little difficult to remove. Let's go ahead and push it through again. Okay, and then we'll grab the propellers out and we'll try and clean it again and see if it improved. Okay, you can see there's still some black stuff in there, and that's what we're trying to get out. We'll do it one more time and then we should be okay. All right, so get a little more oil, put it back in there. Okay, get this back lined up, push that in. All right, I'll use the air blower here. You can see the fan spins really well, it keeps spinning. Okay, let's go ahead now and push it through again. All right, just like that, grab that out. And we're gonna go ahead and clean this up. All right. All right. Okay, still has some grossness, but it should be okay. It's gonna be nearly impossible to get it 100% clean. But yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and put a little more oil back in there, and then we'll put the propellers back and we should be good to go. All right, so we'll get the oil back in. Okay, let me actually take a little bit of the oil out because I put a lot in there. Don't want it overflowing. Okay. All right, then we'll just put the propellers back on. All right, make sure it's good. All right, we should be good to go. I'm gonna close this up. I don't know if I should do the other side. The other fan is already good. Yeah, that fan's fine. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna just close this back up. Make sure to clip this piece back in. If you bent this metal piece out, you can actually bend it back a little bit before you put the fan in. Okay, that way when you drop it, it kind of clicks back in and latches over the top. Okay, and then we're just gonna get those 3 screws back in. A little bit of grease out here. It's okay, it shouldn't affect anything. All right, let's get these screws back. All right, oops. Hold the 2 pieces together, and then we'll just get these screws in. All right, get this screw. Get that screw into place. Good. Get the other one. And then the third one. All right, so there we go. Now we got all those screws back in. The fan should be good. You can see it spins really well. Just in case you couldn't fix your fans, let me see, I'm going to show you the model numbers here. So they got some model and part number information here. You can use that if you want. You can see PN is the part number 01YU923. Okay, and then we also have the individual fan models. So depending which one you're looking at. So here you go. This is one of the fans. EG500 50S1, and you can read that on your own. Okay, and then the other one here, EG500 50S1 CE00 S9A. So this is CE00 and the other one CE10, or yeah, CE10. And here's how you can see the difference. So the GPU fan is here because it has these little pads here, and when you flip it, this is the way it mounts onto the board. So the one we repaired was actually the CPU fan here, okay? All right, and you can actually see this one is a little thinner, this one's a little wider. So if you're wondering which fan is which, you can tell that way. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and put this thing back together. We're gonna have to redo the thermal paste. Let's clean up this fan foam dust. Okay, get that out of the way. Good. Okay. All right, let's get the computer back over here. So we got this. We're gonna clean this up with some rubbing alcohol. All right, so we got some isopropyl alcohol, 91%. I'm just gonna get a small piece of paper towel. We're gonna get some rubbing alcohol on it, okay? And we're just gonna clean the dies off here a little bit. All right, you can clean the outside too if you want, but the main one is this silver part. All right, the glossy reflective part. So we'll clean that off as well. All right, now we got that all cleaned up. You can use a dry side too to dry it off and make sure everything's good. And if there's lint, I just use this air blower to kind of get that out. All right, we're gonna do the same thing with the heatsink, the copper parts here. Okay, I'm gonna use my hand underneath because you can see this kind of springs around too much and I don't want that to bend. All right, so get my hand under there and we're just gonna clean this up. Same thing with this side, right? Because we are gonna be redoing the thermal paste here. Okay, so we got that. I'm gonna get another clean piece because it turned all gray and gross. Okay, get some more rubbing alcohol in there. Again, lift it up. Put your hand behind it so that it doesn't bend the pipes. Here you can see how gray it turns the paper. Okay. And it doesn't have to be 100%. You can keep wiping it, but it's like also because of oxidation. All right. Clean that up. Okay. You can see. All right. Get another piece of paper. And we're just going to keep doing this until there's not much gray left, and we should be good. All right. Clean that. All right, you can see it's a lot cleaner now, even after wiping. Probably one more time and it should be perfect. Okay, you can see it's a little bit gray. I'm going to flip the paper over. Part of the color is also just from the liquid absorbed. But okay, there you go. You can see it's like really clean now. Okay, I'm gonna toss that aside. All right, now let's go ahead and apply the thermal paste. So the thermal paste, you don't use much. I'm using IC diamond. You can use whatever works for you, but I like the diamond type of paste because it doesn't conduct electricity. All right, and it's safer to work with. All right, you don't need very much of this. So actually, let me make sure to clean this off. Okay, there's some specks that are permanently there, but anyways, we're gonna use a small dot in the center. Okay, so let's just go like this. Come on. Alright, so we just need a dot in the center. You don't need a crazy amount. Okay, just like that. That's already probably enough. So this stuff spreads out super thin, so you don't need a crazy amount. Actually, I might need a little bit more. Okay. And then you want to kind of center it so that way when the heatsink goes on top, it will actually spread it out evenly and it will go flat over the whole thing. You don't want too much because you don't want it to go completely spilled all over the edges. Okay. But there we go. All right, if you put too much, then instead of having the heat all stay on the die area here and then go into the heatsink, it'll start going into the outside of the chip, and that doesn't really connect to the heatsink, so you don't want it to do that. All right, we're gonna go over to the other side here now. All right, this one's actually a little bit to this side, so let's push that over. Okay, and then we're gonna go over here and we're gonna do the same, but this one, because it's longer, we're gonna do like kind of like a grain of rice going across, or a line. Okay, so just like this. Okay, that's probably too much, but that's all right. Okay, let's go ahead and kind of even this out. Okay, so that should be good. Just make sure to get it centered. All right, so just like that, you can see kind of made like a blob, like a grain of rice, and then this one we just made a little circle ball. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom out now. And now we just got to put the heatsink back in, and we should be good to go. All right, so let's see if these have numbers. You can actually see they put a 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and a 5 here. So that's how you know the order to put the screws back in. Right, we're going to slowly and carefully drop this back into place, making sure that these line up, because if you drop it wrong and then lift it back up, then you are going to have to redo the thermal paste, or the paste might be all messed up. All right, so we're going to slowly, carefully drop this into place. There we go. All right, so we're going to start with number 1 up here. Okay, I like to turn it backwards, and then you hear a click, and then I'll go 1, 2, 3. Okay, then we'll go to number 2, same thing. Hear the click, 1, 2, 3. Okay, next one, hear the click, 1, 2, 3. All right, then we're gonna go with number 4 up here. Hear the click, 1, 2, 3. And this one. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, now that we got all of them in place, we're going to go back around, 1, 2, 3, and that actually tightens it all the way down. Oops, I need to switch back to the PH1 or JS1 screwdriver so I get a better fit. All right, then we're going to go to the second one and tighten that all the way down. I'm going to go to the third one, tighten that all the way down. Fourth one, tighten that all the way down. And fifth one, tighten that all the way down. And then if you want, you can go ahead and check them all again after leaving it a little bit. But because they are spring-loaded, it shouldn't really have any issue tightening all the way down the first time. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get all these wires back in. They're doing some construction outside, so it's noisy. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this wire back in here. So back here, this one goes back under the fan here. Okay. All right, and then make sure to lift this latch up. Actually, let me zoom in more if I can. Can I zoom in here to show it better? Okay, and then we're gonna get this cable back in. Might be easier to, okay, we can use this to help pull it back a little. And then we can kind of get this lined up. Okay, it goes in slightly lifted at an angle, not flat like this. It goes slightly at an angle. Okay, get that in. Once you get it all the way in, just use your finger to slide over to flip that latch down. You don't want to use any tools or you can break that. All right, and then we'll just put this cable back down, and we have this piece. I don't know why it's just flopping all over the place, but we'll just tuck it in over there. Okay, we got that. Don't forget the fan connector here. Line that up and then pinch those together. Good. Okay, we're gonna go over to the left side now, and same thing, get all these cables back in. So this we have, okay, we're gonna put the wireless antennas first because that's what was in last time. So get the wireless antennas there, over, then under this piece, oops, come on. Okay, then we gotta get it under there, then over, and then under this one, and then going around. And now we just reconnect these cables to the wireless card down here. Again, the gray one was going to the black arrow. If yours is different, follow that. Don't just copy my video, okay? And the way you know it's in place is if you kind of slide your finger over it, the antenna stays in place, then you can go ahead and push it down. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and get the other wire, okay? The black one, get it lined up as well. Okay, good, and then oops. Make sure it goes in. And then you can go ahead and pop that down. There we go. And then we can go ahead and tape this down as well. Okay, just like that. All right, then we got to get this cable in under this. Okay. Oops, over this piece first. Then under there. Okay. then over this piece, and then under this piece, and then we can go ahead and get this back in. Same thing, it goes slightly at an angle. All right, you can see the wings go over those plastic humps, and then just slide your finger over to latch that in. There we go. All right, let's zoom out. Let's get the battery back in. I think we got everything. Oh, don't forget this fan connector, of course. So same thing, just line it up. Okay, and once you get it lined up, pinch the two together. It's a little bit tricky here because the RAM, but there we go. The RAM slot, there we go. Okay, now we're gonna get the last the battery back in. We do have to take the speaker back out, so lift that up. Okay, and get that wire out of the way. Battery, we're gonna slide the feet in first. There's that fan foam powder stuff is all over it, so let me clean that up a little bit. Okay. All right, so we're gonna slide this inwards down like this, okay, so that it can latch over here and here. Okay, get those latched in, and then we're gonna slowly drop that in. Good, we're gonna get the 4 screws back into place. Again, the shorter ones are on the outside here. Okay, so we'll get that one, and we'll get this one. If I didn't mention, or if it's not obvious enough, the speaker connector is right here, okay, just in case you were wondering. The charge port or DC jack, you do have to remove these screws, and you might have to remove the hinge screw, but I'm not sure. I don't want to mess around with it because they weren't having issues with the charge port, and I don't want to risk damaging anything. All right, but it should be, from looking at it, looks pretty simple to replace. You just get this metal bracket out, and then you can actually lift the charge port up and yank the cable out from here. It has the connector just kind of like the fan connectors, it's just larger. All right, so now we're gonna get the wire for the battery back in. Goes over, and then under, and then over this, and then over this one, under this one, over this one, and under this one, over this large one, and under this one. And then just get the battery, or sorry, speaker back in, and we should be good. Now let's go ahead and reconnect the battery connector. It's a little bit weird, this connector, but like before, we had to kind of slide it over. So we're gonna first slide it over that way. You can see now I latched in these wings down here. Then you can slide it back over to that side. And then once you do that, you can go ahead and click that down. Okay, just like that on both sides. Make sure the whole thing is flat and flush. All right, there's some dust here. And then if you want, you can go ahead and take that plastic square piece that we took out earlier and just stick that back on top. All right, oops. Just get it lined up. And stick that back down. All right. And now let's go ahead and get the bottom cover, and we should be good to go. Okay, so the bottom cover here, let's actually put this over here and let me see. So the bottom cover, you have to get this front edge in first, or the bottom, whatever you want to call it. All right, make sure that goes in. We're going to get this screw in. Okay, once you get that screw, we're going to go over to the side. And then I like to undo the screw a little until you hear it click. That way I know it fell into place. And do the same thing. You can hear it click there. And then tighten that down. I know there's construction noise. I don't know if you can hear the clicking. But then the center one, you kind of have to push down a bit more because it springs up. You can hear the click. And then go ahead and tighten that down. All right. You can go ahead and push all around to make sure there's nothing loose. All right. We're going to push this all in as well. Same thing. Untwist it till you hear it click, and then twist and then tighten it. Okay, same thing over here. I heard the click, tighten it down. All right, and then last one, same thing, and tighten that down. All right, and that should be it. We're gonna power it up now, but anyways, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, oh, there's a clip here that didn't go down, so we might have to undo the screw. Oh, there we go. Okay, but anyways, hopefully this video helped you. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Other than that, that's pretty much it. So we're just booting it up now. The keyboard light is coming on. It went on and off a few times, so hopefully it's going to boot up. Okay, it's off right now. I might have to plug it in. Hopefully the RAM isn't loose, and then if it is, I'm going to have to take the cover back out and then reseat that. But anyways, it turned off, so let's see. Is it turning on? Maybe I have to plug the battery or the charger back in because the battery's bad. I think I saw the screen flicker. Yep, okay, so there we go. The screen just took a while to turn on. It says check the date and time settings because the Cmos, but that's kind of weird because I didn't disconnect the BIOS or Cmos battery. But anyways, we're going to have to reset the date and time, but other than that, it looks like it's working. We're just going to give it a bit. It's going to start booting up. Check date and time. Escape to continue or F1 to set up. So you can either change the date and time in the BIOS or you can just load Windows and then change the date and time there. I just pressed escape so that we can continue and make sure it's booting. Alright, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Alright, let's drop this. Bye. Well, we'll wait till it starts up completely just to make sure. Come on. Does the battery die? It showed the spinning thing and now it's just, oh, there we go. Okay, it's just slow. Alright, so now it's screwed up. It said February, actually, isn't that right? February 18th, Friday. That's correct, I think. Alright, so anyways, after doing any hardware component repairs or replacements, it's always good to do a restart, so I'm just going to do a restart. But other than that, that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Alright, let's